August 31st, 1943. Pacific Ocean, 200 miles east of Marcus Island. The carrier decks of USS Yorktown, CV-10, roar to life before dawn. Steam hisses from the catapults as a new breed of fighter rolls into position. The Grumman F6F Hellcat. Her wings, heavy and broad, glisten under the amber deck lights. Ground crews in oil-stained dungarees duck beneath roaring propellers, shouting against the howl of Pratt & Whitney R2800 engines. Lieutenant Junior Grade Sam Tex Henderson checks his instruments, heart thundering beneath his oxygen mask. The Hellcat feels like a beast, larger, heavier than anything he's flown before. He's been told it's the Navy's answer to the Japanese Zero, but to some on deck, the plane looks almost ungainly. "She's a brick with wings," one mechanic had muttered. Tex grins behind his mask. "Then let's see this brick fly." The deck officer signals. Launch. The catapult slams forward, pinning him to the seat. The sea falls away as the F6F claws skyward. Within seconds, the Hellcat stabilizes, its 2,000 horsepower engine growling with confidence. At 15,000 feet, Tex spots them. Specks on the horizon, silver and fast. Mitsubishi A6M Zeros, diving from the clouds like hawks. Over the radio, voices crackle. "Bandits inbound, 4 o'clock high." The first bursts of tracer fire slice through the morning haze. Tex banks left sharply, feeling the G-forces tug at his ribs. A Zero overshoots him, its wings flashing red sun insignia. Tex rolls, squeezes the trigger. 650 caliber Brownings thunder, a storm of lead cutting through the enemy's tail. The Zero erupts in flame, spiraling toward the sea. Back on the carrier, the combat film reels will shock the skeptics. The Hellcat, the so-called Fat Cat, just downed one of Japan's most feared fighters on its first day in combat. By sundown, the US Navy knows it has something extraordinary. October 1943, Rabaul, New Britain. At a hidden airstrip carved from jungle, Japanese pilots of the 201st Kokutai gather beneath the sweltering tropical sun. Cigarette smoke curls above their flight helmets as mechanics wipe down the long, slender wings of Mitsubishi A6M5 Zeros. The men laugh, not out of arrogance, but conviction. For 2 years, they've ruled the Pacific skies. To them, the Americans' new fighter, this Hellcat, is an overweight imitation, an insult to the art of aerial combat. Captain Saburo the Hawk Nishizawa, one of Japan's finest aces, glances at the intelligent sketch of the F6F taped to a crate. "Look at that fuselage," he smirks. "It's too heavy. It will fall from the sky like a stone." Around him, young pilots chuckle, adjusting their white scarves. They trust the Zero, light, agile, and born from Japan's philosophy of speed over armor. But in the skies above Bougainville, that faith is about to be tested. 2 squadrons of Hellcats from USS Essex and USS Independence sweep over the coast. The Americans fly differently now. Disciplined formations, altitude advantage, and raw power. When the Zeros dive to engage, expecting the easy kills of 1942, the Hellcats don't dance, they strike. Lieutenant Commander David McCampbell, callsign Mincy-1, leads the charge. "Keep your energy up," he radios calmly. "They can't outclimb us." His Hellcat roars upward, sunlight glinting off its dark blue skin. 2 Zeros give chase, a fatal mistake. McCampbell yanks the stick, rolls inverted, and dives, straight into the attacker's blind spot. Twin bursts of gunfire rip through the air. The first Zero explodes mid-air. The second disintegrates in a puff of black smoke. Back at Rabaul, only half of Nishizawa's squadron returns. Their laughter fades. Reports flood in. The Hellcat is not slow, not clumsy. It's unstoppable. Its armor shrugs off hits that would shred a Zero. Its guns tear through cockpits with horrifying precision. Within months, Japanese radio operators whisper the word like a curse. Jigoku Neko, the Hellcat, the cat from hell. June 19th, 1944, the Philippine Sea, 1,000 miles from Saipan. The sky is blistering blue, cloudless and cruel. Below, an armada of American carriers cuts through the calm water. Enterprise, Yorktown, Lexington, Essex, and more. Above them, hundreds of Grumman Hellcats circle like a living storm. Today, they are waiting. At 10 o'clock a.m., radar picks up the blips. Dozens, then hundreds. Bogies inbound, bearing 320. The radio crackles alive. The Japanese have launched a massive counterattack. 373 aircraft from carriers, Zuikaku, Shokaku, and Taiho. The Imperial Navy's last gamble to reclaim the Pacific. On the deck of USS Lexington, pilots run to their planes. Engines roar, propellers blur. Lieutenant Alex Vratiu, a 25-year-old ace from Indiana, pulls down his goggles. Let's go hunting. The catapult slams forward, and the Hellcat leaps into the sun. Minutes later, chaos fills the heavens. The Battle of the Philippine Sea, later called the Great Marianas Turkey Shoot, begins. Hellcats dive from 20,000 feet, shredding wave after wave of Zeros and dive bombers before they can reach the fleet. The sky turns into a ballet of fire and vapor trails. Vratiu spots a formation of dive bombers heading straight for the carriers. He dives behind them, throttling up. "I've got 6!" he calls over the radio. His guns chatter. One by one, enemy planes blossom into fireballs, crashing into the sea. In less than 8 minutes, he shoots down 6, a record for a single sortie. By sunset, the scale of destruction is almost unimaginable. The Americans lose 29 planes. Japan loses more than 300. Most never even reach visual range before being cut down by radar-guided interceptors. Aboard the Lexington, a Hellcat mechanic stands on deck, staring at the smoke on the horizon. "Guess they ain't laughing anymore," he mutters. For the first time in the war, the Imperial Japanese Navy Air Service has been broken. Its elite pilots gone, its myth shattered. The Hellcat, once mocked as sluggish and fat, now reigns supreme over the Pacific. April 7th, 1945. Off the coast of Kyushu, Japan. The dawn sky is bruised purple, heavy with mist and the distant hum of engines. Below, Task Force 58 prepares for the final assault on the Japanese homeland. The war is nearing its brutal end, but the skies are far from quiet. From the deck of USS Bunker Hill, Lieutenant J.G. Harry "Red" Whelan wipes oil from his goggles. "This is it," his wingman mutters. "They're sending everything they've got." Radar confirms it. A swarm of enemy aircraft inbound from the north. Kamikazes, hundreds of them. The order crackles over the radio. "Launch all fighters." Hellcats roar into the air, the last line between the fleet and annihilation. The once proud Imperial pilots, many barely trained, are now flying their final, desperate missions. Their Zeros glint in the morning light as they dive through flak bursts, each one a guided missile of flesh and steel. Whelan's Hellcat climbs into the chaos, tracers streaking past his canopy. He catches a flash of movement, a Zero, its pilot's white scarf fluttering in the slipstream, plunging straight toward the Bunker Hill. "Not today," Whelan whispers, yanking his throttle forward. His 6 Brownings hammer in unison, rounds slicing through the Zero's fuselage. It explodes mid-air, a flaming spiral crashing harmlessly into the sea. Below, anti-aircraft guns thunder. One kamikaze punches through the smoke and slams into the carrier's deck, detonating in a burst of fire. Whelan's radio fills with screams and static. Another explosion. A second plane hits moments later. Bunker Hill burns, but she stays afloat. Hours later, the smoke clears. The ocean is littered with wreckage. Twisted wings, oil slicks, drifting life rafts. The Hellcats return, their fuselages peppered with shrapnel, their pilots hollow-eyed but alive. The air groups report their toll. More than 300 enemy aircraft destroyed in a single day. The statistics by now are staggering. The F6F Hellcat, in just 2 years of combat, has shot down over 5,000 Japanese planes. Its kill ratio, 19-1. No other fighter in history had achieved such dominance. In the quiet that follows, a naval historian aboard the Enterprise writes in his log, The Zero died in glory. The Hellcat lived in victory. For Japan's airmen, it is the end of an era, the last breath of the samurai of the sky. For the Americans, it is vindication through engineering, courage, and relentless production. As the fleet turns toward Okinawa, the sun breaks through the smoke. The Hellcats, their wings patched and scarred, rise once more into the light. They are no longer mocked. They are feared. They are kings of the Pacific sky.